Good morning, everyone. It's Lynn here, the cosplayer from Seattle, Washington, and today I will be doing kind of an update video where I'm coming to you guys on my 7th or 8th week of self-quarantine now, being from Seattle, Washington. If you guys have not stayed updated with our recent life events, which I don't know how anyone couldn't at this point because it's like all over the internet and the news. But pretty much because of coronavirus, Washington State has been doing a stay-at-home self-quarantine, which for my average everyday life has not abrupted things too much. It's actually pretty similar, not too bad. I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I know for many people's lives, it has really thrown them through a loop, especially people who are on standby at their jobs or have lost their jobs or are students that are in between school or were preparing to graduate and now their plans are kind of disrupted. I even have a few friends that were in the midst of moving, but because of coronavirus concerns, their moving has been put on hold, which is really strange. So anyways, I thought I would kind of do an update video where I show you guys kind of where I'm at right now, what's been going on if you're curious about Washington State, I guess, and also what I've been doing as a cosplayer who's all of my future conventions and plans have been canceled or disrupted, kind of what I've been doing in the background. So right now, at this moment, I have been working my office job from home. So I am one of the few people that's really, really lucky. I work in an industry that keeps functioning as normal, even when there is like things going on in the world that affect everyone else. My industry continues to work. And so because I'm really local to my office, I actually just brought my work computer home and I've been working from home for about 6 to 8 weeks now, somewhere around there. And for the most part, it's been okay. It definitely is hard to stay in that work mindset when you're in your small, tiny apartment bedroom all day. So I do try to take frequent breaks. I have lunch in my living room. I'll sit out on my porch for a while and play like Animal Crossing on Nintendo Switch. I take a lot of walks through the park. I try to exercise a few times a week, either by doing YouTube videos in my living room. If you guys need a recommendation, check out Emmy Wong's videos on YouTube. She is my favorite workout YouTube star. And then also just going outside, riding my bicycle, talking a lot with my spouse. And most recently, we have been doing a series of watching Studio Ghibli movies each weekend. So we try to choose a different movie to watch. So far, it started off with Princess Mononoke, which is one of both of our very favorite movies. It's actually the first Studio Ghibli movie I ever watched, so it's really special to me. And then we watched Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro, which are kind of the classics, like it's ones everyone has heard of. So we wanted to start off with those. And then I think this next weekend, we're going to watch Castle in the Sky and Nausicaa, which are two that I haven't seen in a really long time, but I remember really, really liking them. And I actually have a music box that is the theme from Castle in the Sky, which is really pretty. So if you guys hear jingling in the background, also that's my cat Milo. He gets zoomies around this time every morning. It's about 10:30, and this is when I sit down and like need to get in the headspace of working. So of course he gets zoomies because he needs to distract me. So hopefully he won't be jumping all over my desk here. So when you guys last saw my video, I also talked about how I had this very temporary workspace at home where I had brought in a 6-foot folding table that I keep in my storage on my porch. And I covered it with a tablecloth. So think of those like really cheap ones you see at like family get-togethers. And then I didn't have an office chair or an extra chair in my apartment. So I had to use my porch chair, which is like really low. So when I would type, it was like I was really low to the ground, and also I was kind of typing like this, so my shoulders and back were just killing me. And originally I did that because I thought this self-quarantine will be over in a few weeks and it's fine, then I can put everything back. Well, when it wasn't over in a few weeks, I realized I had to buy an actual desk on Amazon, but because I live in such a tiny little apartment, I really needed to find something that fit my space better, that was like small and compact, but still my style. And I've been trying to kind of restyle my bedroom a little bit to be more of like a peaceful haven, hence the tapestry that I recently hung up and the blue that I'm bringing in with my new bed sheets and like painting the walls. So I actually ended up getting this really, really cute, tiny pink desk that has 2 drawers and has just enough space on here for my work computer, my keyboard, my mouse, like my coffee in the morning, a notebook, and of course, some plants. I actually went to Trader Joe's and bought this cute little pepperonia plant for $6 because I try to bring in as much greenery into my space as possible. And look how cute that little pink pot is. It really fits the whole desk space. I'll try to get you guys some views of it here soon so you can see it once it's not a complete mess. But I know for many of you guys out there who are cosplayers, a lot of us live in very small apartments. And so finding room to not only do our sewing and crafting, but also to like do work on a computer, to edit photos. Like when you're working with a really small space, you have to be very, very smart how you put everything together. Because you don't want to have an apartment that's really super cluttered. And that's Milo, by the way, so you guys can say hi to him. He actually has a new collar that we got for him. I bought it from a creator on Etsy because it has his nickname Chonky on it, which is a nickname me and my spouse call him. Because Milo here likes to go out on our porch and try to murder birds, which is so strange because we live on a 3rd-story apartment porch. We don't get many birds, but I guess there have been a few very slow ones that decided to come peck at our floor. And he has not killed a bird, but he has caught one in his mouth, and I've had to like free it before. So we got the collar to protect our wildlife here so that Chunky over here can't attack cute little hummingbirds and little Tweety birds on our porch. Okay, so I thought I'd give you guys a quick update of what I've been up to as a cosplayer during quarantine, and I'm going to be very, very honest here. When I found out that all of the upcoming conventions that I was working so hard towards, like doing costumes, saving up money, getting all excited, ramped up to go to, were canceled, I got really, really depressed. And I knew for my mental health, I needed to put all of my projects and costumes on hold because every time I went to work on something or try something on, it left a very bad taste in my mouth and just made me feel sad. Like, you could have worn this, you could have debuted this at this convention, but it's not going to happen now. And we don't know when the next convention will actually be put on because nowhere wants to have, large spaces with lots of people when there's a virus going around that could hurt people. So it's one of those things. I have a personality type where I need to be able to plan for future events in order to get me passionate and give me energy to do those projects. So if there is not a future event that I can plan for, it's really, really hard to keep that mindset of positivity and creativity. So I put pretty much all my cosplay costumes on hold for the time being and said, I'll come back to them when either I'm doing better or when things are settling down and conventions are coming back to life again. So it was probably a few weeks, actually, I'm going to be honest, probably more like a month until I started thinking more about what do I want to do? Like projects that I want to work on. And instead of working on new costumes, I decided I would kind of loop back around and find the things that I already had that I wanted to make better, that needed to be repaired, that needed to be cleaned, that needed to be hung up a different way or displayed a different way. And that's kind of what I started putting my energy towards. So I'm actually going to be doing a little tutorial coming up here, and I'm really hoping I can film it. Again, I am not a professional YouTuber. If you guys cannot tell, like, I'm filming this on my phone. I don't edit my videos. I just do this like all in one take, very artistic or something like that. Mostly lazy and mostly because I am not a videographer. I have no clue what I'm doing. I just know how to talk a lot, I guess. But I'm hoping to be able to film a tutorial so I can show you guys because I'm going to be making something, an actual accessory for my Ari costume that I think would be really helpful. When I went on YouTube to see other people do it, there wasn't really many tutorials that I liked, I guess. So I want to do one that I think other people would find really informational. The other thing that I have mostly been doing in my free time is taking pictures. So actually last night I had a discussion with my spouse where I was saying that one of the reasons I was so disappointed this year with SoccerCon and Emerald City getting canceled is I had actually gone out of my comfort zone and hired photographers for both events so I could get pictures of the costumes that I had been working really hard on. And this year, I didn't actually make costumes from scratch. I bought pre-made costumes and then altered them by adding in like LED lights and special effects and especially for like Star Guardian Aubrey. If you guys saw my other review, I have a massive nine tails. It's probably the biggest prop I have ever had, and I was just so excited to finally like get pictures and have them edited by a professional. And so unfortunately, with the events being canceled, my photography people also canceled because there is no event. And so I was saying to my spouse, I'm really disappointed because I was hoping I could finally get some really good professional pictures, and now it's not going to happen. So my spouse, out of the goodness of his heart, offered to take pictures of me in my very favorite costume, which is my Aubrey, my very classic red Aubrey costume. And I absolutely love them. I'm sorry, he is getting zoomies right now. Milo, get zoomies somewhere else. Sorry, hopefully he's not going to run around too loud over there. So pretty much what we did is yesterday I got into my entire Aubrey outfit, and since I had worn it in 2019, I had fixed it significantly. So the bust really needed to be finished. I put boning into it, so it's actually more of like a corset style top, because I thought, the style of top that she has really needs to have that kind of slim fit look to it and needs to have a little more structure so it's not so loose. And then also I ended up buying a new set of ears by a creator on Etsy. So they were looked more like her ears, where they are black fox ears with little white tufts kind of in the middle. And I feel like they just look better with the costume. Like, it looks much more professional. So we went out to the woods yesterday, the forest near where I live, and we actually ended up being a little more creative and getting into the actual woods and kind of the leafy greens. I did a lot of shots of me sitting and lying down and being very much like immersed into the greenery. So it's really cool to see the fabric colors are so bright red and white, versus the greens and the flowers. There's like a lot of little buttercups and little like pink flowers out, and it was just really super cool to see. Now, after doing that, my spouse was actually saying that he had thought for a long time that he might want to get into photography. And since I've been kind of like forcing him to be my photographer whenever I would wear a costume and I'd ask him to take a picture of me, he finally went out of his comfort zone and this morning went ahead and bought a professional camera. And long ago, and this is kind of a story for another time, I actually used to do professional photography and makeup art. This was like almost a lifetime ago, but I did many photography editing classes and black and white photography and film photography and digital photography. So I'm really excited to be able to kind of share that hobby with him and share my knowledge with him. And I think it'll be really interesting. I think I've noticed a lot of people at conventions kind of fall into different categories, whether they are a creator of costumes, a creator of photography pictures, or if they're just a cosplayer. Like, it's kind of funny to see how many different types of people come into this world of, cosplay hobby, and how they can be different types of creators. You don't have to be someone that wears the costume. You could be the person that creates it, or you could be the person that photographs and edits it. And I think that's just really cool. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me blabbing on and on today, and I hope you guys are doing really well and staying really positive through this and just finding things to kind of keep yourself busy with at home. I hope your environment is comfy and cozy and happy, and if you need to, watch that Studio Ghibli movie. They 100% always make me feel better. They make me feel very whimsical and happy even in my small home, and kind of bring the joy of the simplicity of life to me when I watch them. Like, I feel like even small, simple things are nice. And there goes our fire alarm, so I guess this is me signing off. Okay, bye guys. I'll talk to you soon.